All right, guys, so I want you to really think about what the Baltimore Ravens just did to the NFL. Baltimore Ravens just grabbed the number 8 and the number 10 overall prospects in the 2025 NFL Draft at picks number 27 and 59. We've talked at length about Malaki Starks, but let's talk about Mike Green, who the Baltimore Ravens just drafted in the second round after falling all the way to the Baltimore Ravens at pick number 59 due to some off-the-field character concern, which we will address here in a minute. But first, let's talk about the player and the caliber of talent that the Ravens just got. First of all, Mike Green led the entire college football landscape with 17 sacks last year and was an absolute dominant nightmare coming off the edge and was ranked as PFF's 10th overall prospect and the second best edge rusher in this year's draft class. We know the Baltimore Ravens do their homework on these type of situations, and so while he fell due to those issues off the field, we know the Baltimore Ravens do their homework and their background research, and they were obviously comfortable with taking this caliber of player and taking a shot here at Mike Green in the second round. This write-up from Pro Football Network says, Green is the most prolific pass rush producer in the class, coming off a 2024 campaign with 17 sacks, 23 tackles for loss at 6'3", 251 pounds with 32-inch arms. Green terrorizes tackles with his explosiveness, bend, agility, and thorough execution. His three-cone time is near 99th percentile, is evidence of his athleticism and fluidity. Green is projected to be a double-digit sack producer at the National Football League level. If you look at Dane Brugler's The Beast, with all of the rankings in his top 100, he had Mike Green at 10th overall, fell to 59. Mike Green also ranks in this edge rusher class first in tackles for loss, first in sacks, second in sack rate, fifth in pressures, ninth in pressure rate, sixth in quick pressure rate, and first in pressure rate above expectation. He has one of the nastiest spin moves that we've seen for a player coming out of college football. By the way, Chuck Smith, or Dr. Rush, the outside linebackers coach and pass rushing specialist for the Baltimore Ravens, he said, "Welcome to the flock," and he had a nice reaction, fired up that the Baltimore Ravens grabbed their guy, an elite pass rusher, who this could really be the answer for the Ravens pass rush. Like the Baltimore Ravens have been searching for that, impact game wrecking type of player that on third down in a AFC championship or a big time moment that you can trust someone to get out there and consistently create havoc and sack the quarterback. Mike Green could be that guy. He is an elite level talent that just fell to the Baltimore Ravens. How the Ravens were able to get Malaki Starks and Mike Green in their first two selections, it's mind-boggling, and it's really not fair to the rest of the NFL. But this is what the Baltimore Ravens do. Mike Green, if you guys didn't see the clip of him dominating at the Senior Bowl, throwing guys on their rear end. Also, people knock he was with Marshall, didn't really produce against elite-level schools, but he absolutely terrorized Ohio State, gave their entire offensive line problems, and sacked their quarterback as well. So Malaki Starks and Mike Green are officially Baltimore Ravens, answering two needs for the Baltimore Ravens at safety and edge rusher. The Ravens edge room now rounding out quite nicely. Mike Green, Odafe Oweh. Odafe Oweh also very athletic, and the way he's been ascending, he had 10 sacks last year, and then the veteran presence of Kyle Van Noy, and then the young guns from last year with Adisa Isaac, and then the year before that with Tavius Robinson, and then David Ojabo in the last year of his deal. The Ravens have plenty of young talent to throw at the quarterback and see which guys are going to be trusted out there on third down. By the way, he had a 90.4 PFF grade in 2023, a 92.4 in 2024, and a 20.2 pass rush win rate, which is absolutely absurd. Now, the Ravens just made another selection as well. Now, to be completely honest with you guys, after the Ravens selected Malaki Starks and Mike Green with their first 2 picks, I'm like, dude, you already won the draft. Like, you could draft literally whoever you want. You could draft 5 kickers after this. I don't care, because the Ravens just absolutely crushed it with 2 home runs. No, I'm just joking. Obviously, the Ravens have more spots they can fill out their roster with, but I'm so satisfied with this draft because of those first 2 picks. With their 3rd round selection, the Baltimore Ravens grabbed offensive tackle Emry Jones out of LSU, who has several starts at right tackle, but also is projected to maybe be a better fit at guard. So he has versatility where he has played at offensive tackle, but projects better to be an offensive guard. He's the 79th overall prospect on Pro Football Network's board. Here is his write-up. Emry Jones is an intriguing prospect, a 3-year starter in LSU's pass-heavy offense. He brings elite size, strength, and power, but it's an average overall athlete. As a run blocker, Jones is a true mauler. I love that word, man. Anytime I see mauler with an offensive lineman, sign me up. You know, I like to see guys mauling in front of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and Patrick Ricard, who thrives on physicality. He fires off the ball with aggression, generating movement at the line of scrimmage. His strong hands allow him to latch onto defenders and control engagements, particularly in man blocking schemes. However, Jones' balance and flexibility are concerns, which is why they think he could maybe fit better as an offensive guard. In pass protection, Jones' size and length are his best assets. He has a powerful punch, can disrupt rushers early in the rep, and his ability to anchor makes him tough to beat with power. His ceiling is uncertain, but he can be an above-average right tackle or guard. So, Emry Jones, still kind of raw, still developing, still learning, but has got some length, size, strength. Could be another option to compete for the guard positions, between Daniel Falele and Andrew Voorhees, and then also could be a swing tackle, developmental type of prospect as well. So I think it's a good pick here for the Baltimore Ravens. I'm just beside myself that the Baltimore Ravens landed Mike Green. I mean, this was a guy like legit a top 10, 15 type of talent and prospect that fell to the Ravens in the 2nd round. I'm so excited to see what Mike Green can do. Let's talk about the allegations. He had 2 sexual assault allegations, one after high school, and then one while he was at Virginia in college. However, there was never any charges actually pressed. Mike Green was also open about this at the Combine and said, hey, people are painting me to be one way, but that's actually not who I am. You can ask the people around me. He denied both of the allegations. And like we said, it is important to note that they are allegations. Like, nothing was ever substantiated. Nothing was ever brought to courts. There was the investigation that we saw. The report from the police officer said there was no signs of property damage, anything suspicious for the call that he went out to. Obviously, the Ravens were comfortable with the situation to spend a 2nd round pick on this caliber of talent. It's also important to note that anytime you draft a player, it's a risk. We never foresaw what happened with Justin Tucker. Like, if anything, it was the opposite reported of Justin Tucker, that, he's a high character guy and, a red star type of guy, off the field, awesome, type of character. And then you saw how that turned out, right? You saw the allegations that came up later. So every player that you draft has a risk of having off-the-field concerns. Obviously, you do your research and you try to mitigate that risk. And the Ravens have done a pretty good job at being able to navigate that throughout the years. The Ravens really, if these guys pan out and play up to their talent level, they absolutely just transformed their defense. I mean, they added a playmaker in the back end, like a free safety / nickel hybrid versatile defensive back, at the same time adding a legitimate threat on their defensive line, on their front, to get after the quarterback. So a guy that can make plays that the quarterback throws, into the secondary, and then a guy that can disrupt those throws and cause pressure up front. You got both impacts right off the bat in the first 2 picks in the draft, and then you grab some more trench reinforcements on the offensive line to protect Lamar Jackson and add some more depth there. So really excited for how this draft is going so far. The Ravens still have 8 more picks. So stay tuned, man. Make sure you got your subscribe and notification bell on. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button if you got any value at today's content. I love you guys. Appreciate y'all, and we'll see you in the next video.
When he wasn't looking, he ran me over.